business
Hey,
to
is it?
share, some town business to share with the people. Your people, your town business. We
Yeah,
got
man, you
we
already
got
know.
we got some Dame Lillard business,
Oakland.
and we got some
Me?
Tupacalypse business. We got
Yes.
some town business to get into. We're gonna talk to y'all about. Listen, y'all just gonna have to find out. Listen, man, this is where we at about Del Time. Damian Lillard has finally been officially been traded
Hmm.
to the Milwaukee Bucks to join Giannis and two-time MVP, one-time NBA championship, one-time Finals MVP, Giannis. I'm not gonna butcher his last name. So I'm gonna just come out with it, bro. Can they win the chip next year?
Yes, they're gonna win the chip this year.
Bro, you not even want to think about the
I'm
question
not even gonna
first. Can
think about
you?
it because I've already thought about it.
It's
It since
ridiculous.
the trade has happened, I've
It's
thought
just
about
ridiculous.
how awesome this is. Let me tell you this. Let me start with some facts. First off, who's the number one scorer last year that was able to score it off pick and rolls? Wait,
Steph Curry.
no, it wasn't. It was actually Damian Lillard. And he was doing this. He was doing this at this time with old boy from Portland that just got traded to I believe the Suns. What's his name? Is it?
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it, but he was Novic, Nokovic. So he was doing this with Nokovic. Nokovic is a great player, great. He won't get you a bucket. He's not a defensive specialist as good as Giannis is going to be. Guess who scored the most points inside the paint last year?
Steph Curry.
Nope, Giannis. So you got the best person to score off the pick and roll teaming up with the person who gets the most points in the paint. This is great. This is going to work. This is going to get you buckets. Guess what this does for Giannis? Something that he ain't really had throughout his whole career. This opens up the door. This allows him now to not have to be the pressure. Guess who's known for making big shots when it's time for a game winner? Damian Lillard. You know what I mean? Guess who's going on for making big defensive plays when the game's on the line? Giannis. So now you got that pickup. A lot of people are going to speak about how defense is going to be losing now that they lost Drew Holiday, which I understand that Dame is not going to be the best defensive presence. However, that's why you got a team around you. This is why you got Brook Lopez. This is why you got your boy what's his name? Millsap. This is why you got the guys that you got. But you got an awesome starting five. So with him joining this is going to open up, and I think we're going to see a lot of pick and roll basketball. We're going to see a lot of opportunities for the floor to be spread around. You're going to see Giannis being able to have somewhere where he can kick the ball out for a guaranteed 3-pointer. And I think the defense is going to be the least of the worries because they're going to be able to push it up, and then they're already going to have two big men to keep that key from not getting as much buckets as needed to be in there. So I feel like they got an opportunity to win the championship. They definitely coming out of the East. Definitely. The only thing that I can say that
They're coming out of the East.
they're coming out. Let me make this clear. That's what I'm. Let me make this clear because I'm
Yeah,
saying
make
it
it clear.
incorrectly. They are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, Eastern Conference Finals. Okay.
They're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Against who?
I'm. They're going to be against Boston. Boston picking up Porzingis, though they lost Marcus Smart, is everything beneficial for them. They got a big now who could really actually move and be able to get some post paints. They got a person now who can grab rebounds and kick it out to their shooters. They have that now. So they're going to be elite. They didn't come back. They didn't just do what they did last year or the years that's been pitting up to finally get here and not be in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're the team to beat still. But but Milwaukee is definitely a great contender for them. And it's going to be tough to not see that. And if you think about this, right, when Giannis made Damian Lillard when he was the captain for the All-Star game and he picked Damian Lillard as his first pick, that wasn't by accident. They work well together. They know what's up. So I think that they're going to play extremely well together. I think Dame, he might not be as happy as he wanted to go to Miami, but I also think Dame fucked himself by how he came and executed this trade request because he only gave them one team. he should have gave them a list of teams and not kind of dealt his card right away. But he was on some keeping it real. I'm gonna just tell y'all exactly what I want, so y'all give me exactly what I want. If he would have did it better, he would have got a more of a variety of people, and he probably would have been able to work that Miami trade, which I know everybody was expectation. But I think if he was going to land somewhere, this was the best place for him to land. If he was going to land somewhere that wasn't Miami Heat, this is going to be the best place for you to land. You're getting some help. You're getting not only some help from not only another bucket, but you're getting another big man, like a real big man, which you have not had your whole career. Because pretty much as soon as you got there, LaMarcus Aldridge wanted to leave and go to the Spurs. So you haven't really had an opportunity to play with the real big man being your number 2 or your number 1, or just being a co-captain with you. Just really. So that's my thoughts.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right. I mean, shout out to you for just disrespecting these defensive players, just disrespecting Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday. Like, you just speed bumped over them brothers, huh? Like, they just.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Marcus Smart is going to be great for the Grizzlies. He was great for the Celtics. Honestly, it sucks because they're not going to use him because they're already talking about trying to get rid of him. They're already talking about trying to get rid of Drew Holiday, but I think whoever team he ends up on, he's going to be a magnificent fit. I'm really hoping he comes to the Warriors. There's been talks that we could possibly get him, and I think that just even having him come off the bench, along with Chris Paul. I know Chris Paul's going to be starting, but just imagine having that defensive presence. That would be incredible.
I find it interesting that Miami wasn't involved in this trade at all.
Right.
Because I think what ended up happening was not so much Dame saying he was down to go there, but more or less Miami being intelligent about it, because they just didn't have the pieces to give, right? So in their mind, I think Miami was thinking, okay, well, we made it this far without Victor, who wasn't really balling, but he's a piece, and without Hero, and without, let's say a superstar, quote unquote, right? So they made it that far, and they lost Gabe
Vincent.
They lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers. So they didn't have any pieces to give. So for them to not be involved in the trade at all, I think it's fascinating.
Yeah,
because it's the Suns Bucks Portland trade.
Who do you think won out of the trade? I'm sorry to inject.
Oh, you're good. I think that, to be real, bro, this is what I think. I think that Portland, outside of their fans, outside of their fans, I think Portland won. Because Portland, did you ever watch? Portland has Scoot Henderson. Did you ever watch the NBDL, the G League thing I recommended to you on Amazon?
Yeah.
Scoot's on there a lot. And I think that for them to have a 19-year-old coming straight out of the G League, who's for lack of a better cliche, who's hungry, who can't wait, who's drafted, I think they won. I know it sucks for Portland, whether you go all the way back. If we're talking about Sam Bowie, Clyde Drexler, Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, at this point, Damian Lillard, Marcus Aldridge, the list goes on. But I think they won this particular go because you had to make a choice. You can't have Lillard still sitting here with this. I love Portland. I'm so loyal, but pay me this money. I gotta go. I don't care what anyone says. If we're gonna have this whole superstar thing of who's weak and who makes moves and who complains about leaving, I think that you guys have to put Dame in the same category that y'all would put Kevin Durant in. For those of you guys that have criticized Kevin Durant in the past, because I believe it's the same situation. Like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. You guys have to do something about it. I think I want to say it's the same thing where it's in the way you signed for this huge amount of money. And at the end of the day, you're also holding these people hostage. So for it to be on some Giannis, like Giannis said earlier a couple of weeks ago, where it's along the lines of like, I like being here. We'll see what happens in the future. I always want to compete in the best place. Got you. Giannis's contract isn't up until 2026, I believe. So for him to put that inkling out there, it's like, yo, y'all should do something about this and then bring someone in. Great. Because Kobe did the same thing. Before they got Paul Gasol, Kobe was like, yo, I'll leave. I'll think about it, the place to go. It could be considered. He said this on a radio show. I want to say within 6 months they got Paul Gasol and Lamar Odom because Kobe mentioned that he may want to dip out eventually. Right. So Giannis put the words out there early in his contract that he may want to make this decision. Meanwhile, once Lillard signed this bread and was sitting on it where it's like, oh, I want to go. You guys should bring me people, but I don't want to go, but I like being here. And just put this like weird, this very weird limbo where Portland wins because they get that off their back. Yeah. And Dame is so J. Cole of the NBA that I've never seen so many fans side with the player who forced a trade. Never in my life. Right. I watch more NBA news than NBA. So when it comes to like whether it's the gossip and the rumors and the trades and the trade deadlines and the communications, I've never in my life seen so many fans take a player's side that's asking for a trade. I can't think of one ever because most people that do that are villainized. So for the organization to be like, the fans hate our guts, but we gave this dude this money. Like we gave him all the bread he wanted. Like what are we supposed to do, bro? And the fans like, you guys got to do everything. The owners are greedy. What? We gave him what do you want us to do? So for the owners to be relieved of that and then bring in a rookie on a brand new contract and just see what happens with this rookie and just be relieved of that shit. I think Portland won. Now, the obvious immediate winner would be the Bucks because great for Giannis. I personally don't believe that this will work out immediately. My mind, I think they exit in the first round. Not in a disrespectful manner, but because of chemistry purposes. So when you say something, Dell, on the lines of like he scored the most points coming off the pick and rolls, his tenure with that individual, I believe, is over 5 years. When you know how someone plays, you know how they play. Draymond setting a screen for Klay Thompson is different than someone else setting a screen for Klay Thompson. Like that's your man, you know how they play. They both average over 30 points a game. Someone's got to give up the ball. The reason why the Dame Lillard Jimmy Butler trade was allegedly a better fit was because statistics show Jimmy Butler isn't taking enough shots. As much as he's balling, he's not taking a Kobe amount of shots during a game. So he's getting fatigued and just falling backwards. So for someone like Jimmy Butler that averages 23, you bring in a dude that averages 30, yay, hooray. They're not bringing in a LeBron to go play at the Heat that can get a ball to Bosh. You can give it to Dwayne Wade. They're bringing in a ball-dominant guard to play with Giannis. And Giannis is scoring points in the paint, Dale, not on a Vlade Divac coming off a screen, not on a Karl Malone coming off a screen, not on the Joel Embiid coming off a screen. Giannis is pushing rock a lot of times, like from end to end, like paint points, like second chance points. Like he's getting down there himself. So I can see a pick and roll situation working out, but Giannis don't average 30 because he's getting pick and roll buckets. So I don't say they exit first round, second round because they're whack. I just think it takes a minute to get that chemistry together, and I think they're a piece away. I think those Drew Holidays, those Marcus Smarts, those Draymond Greens, those what's the bright yellow homie that got cut from the Grizzlies who plays for the Rockets now?
Dillon Brooks.
I think those guys galvanize and they bring.
But you got your Wade Millsap. You know, fuck with him?
I don't think it's the same. I believe in it. I'm just saying, here's the thing. The same way how I didn't think the Heat would win the first year. I didn't believe in the Lakers at all with that Cole.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Millsap. It's Milton.
With that. Oh, you mean no, Middleton.
Middleton. I keep saying Millsap. Yeah. He used to play them years ago.
You're talking about Middleton. I don't believe in them, like the chemistry working out that fast. It takes a second. It takes a minute for that type of chemistry to work. And I don't think that this is a situation where, oh, you get 30, I get 30. Let's put them together and just make it work. In fact, I think that this is a dream scenario for fans regular season, but this is also a situation where it's a Kyrie Durant thing where we're going to put these two names together and we're going to ball. The problem is I haven't seen the amount of time. I haven't seen the ball handling comparison between Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Giannis, and Kyrie. However, I think that Kyrie and Kevin Durant are a better combination because Kevin Durant doesn't need the ball that long to shoot. Not as low as Klay Thompson, but like less than Steph Curry, right? And I think that when you have someone like a Giannis who scores a lot of points in the paint, he's incredibly ball dominant. Because to get 30 in the paint when you're going end to end, it's like most of Giannis's highlights, him going end to end in 3 steps. So he's ball dominant. So I don't know how comfortable Dame is going to be with
But he
being.
has to be right now, though. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways right now, like, don't get me wrong, like, Drew is raw. But at the same time, like, you don't have someone who can score for you with the kind of force that Dame can score for you, where you don't have to feel like I got to push this from end to end because nobody else is going to willing to want to have that hunger like I got right now to want to win this ship. Like I feel like I got to put the team on my back. Like they both done that, and I do agree with you about chemistry. I think it's going to take a lot to build it, but you got 84 games. You got to play in now. You got a lot of things to prepare yourself for that get you to that feeling after playing in the regular season and get to the playoffs where you have an opportunity to start figuring things out.
To your point, hold on, Dell. So that's a detriment, right? So the plan, right? The plan. Here's the thing: plan. You, Dave Lillard, you, Giannis. We balls to the walls. We go hard. We go in. We got to prove everybody that what we wanted was what we wanted. They're gonna go hard in the plan, but no reason. Because this is about a championship. So that's what I mean by like chemistry, by like kind of have an understanding where it's like we've told everyone that we leave it on the floor. So for our first play-in, the Bucks can win the first play-in. It's like that shit don't matter. We brought you here for a championship. That's the type of chemistry things I mean. Those type of understanding things that I mean, where it's like you like they got a plan. They're gonna go. Their problem is they're gonna go too hard in the plan. LeBron and AD gonna be like Steph Curry and just gonna be high fiving their plan, doing sea walks. But I can see Bucks being like, nigga, our first play-in, we gonna go in, and that type of shit. I think are chemistry things that you got to figure out. Like, hey, it's my.
But I think that could sway both ways though, because in a lot of ways you can. Yeah, you're right. It could hurt you for a long season, but it also can encourage you to be like, okay, we know we got a good fit here. Let's start critique. Like we just saw what we did. Like anybody with a basketball IQ gonna be like, okay, well, we see now what we can work to be better. We still want to win. For Dame, I feel like Dame has to come there. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm also the guy, but I'm also here to win the championship because I have to. Because all I talked about is why important and I didn't have the help. Now I'm getting ready to get pretty much the soon to be face of the NBA.
Does he have to win a championship? I thought he said he doesn't like ring culture. He just wants to play.
He gotta win it. He has to win it. He don't, man.
I
Don't
don't
care
think he
what
has to.
People be saying that shit. People be talking
He
about
said it.
I know they all say that shit. I don't look wrinkled, and then they win it. Like they'll tell you how much that shit don't be working. Fucking Westbrook talked about he's already won, right? And then he said, if the Lakers win a championship, I should get a ring. This is literally when they played in the finals not too long ago. I should get a ring if they win a ring. No, not when they played in the finals. When they got knocked out, when they were doing really good and it looked
Yeah,
like they were.
he would have.
Yeah. But he wanted to make it known. But all that shit about like, I don't care. I don't want to hear that shit. You want a ring, dude. You're not here to do nothing else. You're not here to get knocked out the first round. You're not here to continue to have your. I know that if it didn't matter, he would have stayed in Portland. If it didn't matter, you're already making money. So you're going to compete. You're not going because I hate it here. I'm getting treated great. I hate it here though. I'm making all this money, but I hate it here.
That's a good point. If he didn't care, he wouldn't ask for a trade. Like he's chilling, so like just having a good ass time. It's like nigga, just la 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 la.
Nigga, I'm great. Nigga, I'm making music. I do what I want. Like nigga, you're literally living the life you want. Nigga, play basketball and I rap. Nigga, that's all I gotta do. And I'm hella close to the bank so I can go home whenever I want to. Like nigga,
he'd be like Carmelo in New York.
Yeah,
because Carmelo left the Nuggets and they were raw. They made it to conference finals. They got beat out by the Lakers a couple of times, but they were raw. And He went to New York, and while he was in New York, he had the option to take, I think, several $1 million less and go to the Rockets with CP3. I think Dwight was still there.
Yeah.
And Bosh was thinking about going, but he had the heart thing. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. He had an option to go to the Bulls to
I
play with
remember
D
this.
Rose and a couple other dudes, and he could have went just to Chicago, but was like, nah, I like
I'm
it here.
good. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Life is good.
I'm
And the
good.
thing about like the team you wanted to go to was in Miami. So you was gonna be even further away from the Bay, from everything that you wanted to do. So you'd have just been further away from everything. So you would have been in Miami. Miami sounds good, but you also know, like, oh, these guys are an option for me to win. You're looking at the best fit for you.
Are you
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
So
You
I
make
do
a good
see
point.
it.
My thing is my only problem with, I think when you say, yeah, I think this is where we reach it. This is where we're gonna reach the impasse of it, right? We're gonna find out whether or not if Giannis and Dame score points because they have to, or if they're okay with being like, I'll take 10 less and let you get buckets. And that's rare because only people you've ever seen do that in the history. Correct me if I'm wrong. Make an adjustment to their superstar stratosphere, make an adjustment so that we can win and I can welcome my homeboy. Only person we've ever seen do it, that I've seen do it, is Steph Curry and maybe Tim Duncan. Maybe Tim Duncan with some like, oh, Kawhi here? Let's get it in. Let's run it. Y'all can have whatever. Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, y'all can do whatever. I'm the face, but I'm here so we can all get better. So it's rare that I see that. Usually people are scoring points because, I get these buckets. This is fun for me. But on some Steph Curry side, y'all do it, bro. I'm gonna be a distraction on mine. My problem is my concern is whether we see how much Dame or Giannis need that as part of their identity. Like, that's what we got to see.
So my argument.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. But I will say, I want to put out some of the points there. But I do think Dame comes in there with that. I would say that Dame comes in with that because he hasn't really tripped off a scoring title. Like, none of that shit's been important to him. I feel like he really been having to get buckets on the Blazers because that's what he has to do. Like, bro, it's just like, if you going into work and everybody's just sitting around again, but work needs to be done, like, for you to go home, you're gonna be like, fuck it, bro, I'm gonna just do this shit.
DJ McCullough was a good teammate. He used to get buckets.
He did, but then he left. So it was like, nigga, this is what I gotta do. I gotta live life. Like, and I'm pretty sure, like, it's different with another guard, right? Like, you going with another guard, we gonna get buckets. But you going with a big man, we gonna win. Like, now you already know, like, this is every guard's dream, is to be with outstanding big man who knows how to play the big man role, who can step out and hit a three for you, who really can grab boards over everybody.
Then why do James Harden want to leave?
James Harden hates life. James Harden just figure out ways to hate life. Like, he just finds ways. Like, and like now he's talking about like I feel like James is just one of those dudes. He's like he don't even care. Like, I think James really don't care about winning. Like, I think James just want to be like, I'm gonna live off the NBA buck, and I'm gonna just keep moving around and live in different cities and see what it's like. Like, it just to experience this shit. Like, I'm just doing for the experience now at this point. Like, nigga, like, he signed up for the army just to go travel. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, he on that shit. Like, I'm gonna see the world. They said I'm gonna see the world. I'm gonna see the teams.
Man, I wish somebody told me about the Navy about that when I was younger.
Right.
Like, I know niggas almost got drafted into the Marines, but yeah. I wish somebody told me about the Navy. Like, hey, the
Me
Navy.
too. I've been thinking about that too.
It, bro. Then you be on a boat, because I didn't know how much I like being on boats till now. I was like, older. And they see everything. They don't gotta like do like shit. Wild shit.
Yeah, they don't do shit. They be on the boat and submarines and shit. They be cool, but I don't know. I want to say this though, because I didn't get to answer this question. But I want to say, I know we don't talk a lot about agreeing, but I do want to say I agree with you that the Blazers won in this trade. And I want to add some points there, even though you kind of mentioned everything else. But I think Joe Corwin, the GM there, I think he won and he made himself look even better as a GM, because to what you said about getting that, even though Dame is such an asset, but getting that problem out of the like organization for a second, getting that out of the thing. And mind you, Joe Corwin, he started as an intern, and then he didn't become the GM until 2022. So now that he's the GM and he's already making his move to get things like, first he said get Scoop. That's a great pickup. Then to add something to that, you get DeAndre Ayton. Like to add that in there, like that's a great pick, right? Like that helps. You get rid of Yusuf Nurkic because yes, he's great at fucking scoring, but he has no defensive presence.
Right.
But you get somebody like Aiden who has defensive presence and can kind of score the same way. Now you can kind of like now it's not even, you also getting the pressure out of you should win a championship now type shit. Now I have an opportunity for people to say I'm able to in the rebuilding phase, and now I'm building around my new asset to make him better and to get this done. And to the credibility, even if Dame wins, it's still a good look on you. Because even though it still highlights whatever came from your organization, because he still got to represent the organization to be like, that's still a Dame. Like, that's still, he was one of the Blazers. We had him for this many years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing, even if he wins right off the back, it's still like a win for y'all. Because people, your organization that love Dame still going to love him. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, so things that they see from that is all going to be beneficial.
Wait, hold on.
I know you got. I left myself open for a rebuttal
because
right there. I'm
having to think. I'm thinking about. You're right from an organizational standpoint. Like we developed him, and good for him. But just from the fan standpoint, I can see all the. See if y'all just got him some people that could have been us. Like see if y'all just would have. I think, and to your point, I said, I don't know what you're saying. A cool thing about them officially signing up for a rebuild. The cool thing is that now they can grow in a way where like they can sign somebody else. They can sign someone to work with Scoop. Like they can work in free agency before February. They cleared their cap pretty much. They can bring in somebody else if they want to. I think there's this thing about players where I haven't seen the interviews. I don't have the evidence. However, I know there's got to be something about playing with certain people. There has to be there, and I have questions when you've been somewhere for 11 seasons and y'all can't get nobody to go there like that. It's really strange. It's really strange to me, right? So you have Westbrook, Kawhi, and Paul George all in the Clippers. Is Westbrook still in the Clippers? Is Westbrook still in the Clippers? Okay, so and Westbrook goes these places and he plays there, and so he must be okay to play with. But these people that are at places and they can't seem to get anyone to go to those places, I always wonder, like, is it a location thing? Is it the person? Like, what's happening where y'all can't get nobody
location
to go? You guys can't get anybody to go there. Like,
bro, why would you want to go to Portland?
Because have you been?
I haven't been to Portland, but I would say this. Hold on.
Really nice. It's really nice. It's the Pacific Northwest, so it's still the Bay Area, but it rains a little bit more. It's cheaper up there. It's a nice place to be. And
I get that.
And the thing is, he's a winner. He's so great. It's like, for example, it's like this. Kyrie. People want to play ball with Kyrie Irving. Regardless of all the stuff that's happening, people still want to play ball with him. Why? Like, why? Because I don't know, outside of whatever's going on in the media, like he's a baller. And it's interesting people still want to play with him. It's interesting to me that Kyrie can find a way to get to these places and like get these trades done and make it to other teams all while he's still being raw. It took this long for Damian Lillard to get traded. When he was in free agency, there was nowhere else that he wanted to go. But
he should have went. He should have built a better list.
That's always fascinating to me when players are stuck on an island by themselves or they don't end up going anywhere else. I always find that like it's just strange to me. Like even with Dwight, right? Dwight's supposed to be in the league right now. What's happening? You go to the Warriors and work out, and I'm sure willing to take the veterans minimum $800,000. They don't want you at all. We don't need somebody to back up Looney at all. What the fuck is going on? Like so.
Well, they just picked up old boy from Houston.
Who we get?
I gotta remember his name. But
there's always these interpersonal questions that I have for people, if you will. That's all. That's what I mean by it. It's like who would go there? But if the guy you're playing with is good enough, why wouldn't you go there? Right? Like Paul George didn't think to try to get traded to Portland. Like it's always interesting. I think that's fascinating, especially when you're a talent like that. Strange to me.
Yusuf Garuba.
Okay. So I think the interpersonal,
okay.
the interpersonal, I don't know who that is.
No.
The interpersonal things are always interesting to me, where it's like certain people can just move however, and then certain people are in a situation where in the situation where I'm here and I signed this contract, but I hate being here. It's like, all right, so what happened during free agency? Like, what's some Harden shit, right? Harden signed the contract and they said, no, you got to sign this, and then we'll trade you, James. We got to just do a sign and trade. And they signed it and they can't trade him now. He's upset. But apparently he was told that he would get signed and traded. But the reason he didn't do that, the reason James Harden wanted to sign and trade was because he wanted to get the money he's getting paid right now, and knew if he got traded, and knew if he won the free agency, he wouldn't make that. So my question for Dame on this, with that contract he signed, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, is like, what made you sign that and then decide that, oh, you know what? They couldn't get me anyone for this money. I don't want to be here anymore. Versus being like, I'm in free agency, let me go test the market. Is it because no one else would give him that much bread?
I think it was about the money for him. I think about the money, but I also think I think Dame. I think we talk about this a lot, but I think Dame put himself in a bad place himself, because he spoke like he didn't want the team up shit. So I think like people were probably like, I don't want to play over there.
You think you better than us?
Yeah. So now you
real.
like, I don't think people. I think people, because every time you hear about any kind of players speaking on Dame, they always speak like highly, like he's a baller over there. He's, he's this, he that. You never hear nobody being like hateful or saying like, I don't know, man, Dame, like laugh it off or something like that. Like even Steph would get a laugh. Steph, you know what I'm saying? Steph, the defense, like, they'll try to like throw a little jabs out on him, but like,
yeah,
like some people don't really say that about Dame. I think he's well liked. I think he's just one of those guys who is like, he just doesn't have that welcoming presence. Like, come over here until you're like cool with him. You know how some people, you just like, you get that point of like, man, you know how cool he is? Oh, he cool? I just never even tried to approach him because he just don't talk a lot, or he just don't say nothing. So I just thought he was just, he didn't fuck with nobody. That's how I feel like Dame is. Dame that dude at the party, you'd be like, you done did a few head nods to, but you never actually spoke with him to find out what kind of person he was. So I feel like,
I feel you. I understand the analogy that you're using. And you're probably right. I just think it's interesting that someone can be that good. Someone can be that good. You have a combination of players, not through the grapevine saying, hey, you should go out there and ball, do need some help. Or during free agency, you don't just go somewhere else during your free agency. I think that's kind of weird. And that's why I find it fascinating that the fans are so willing to give him a pass on signing a massive contract and then holding an organization hostage when asking for a trade to like essentially a team
made for you,
asking for a trade to a Cinderella bottom of the barrel team that isn't supposed to be in the finals. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. I don't understand it. But listen, we got one more episode, y'all. We got something very, very special. Some breaking news. Some breaking news. Tune in for the next one. Y'all can be anywhere in the world right now, but y'all here with us. We appreciate that. Drink water. Pay attention.
Hey, man, you made it this far. So right now, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think about this Damian Lillard trade, who won from the trade. And of course, man, just stay woke. But yeah, drink water, all that. Yeah, man. And just know, man, we here at the Dell and Ryan Report really, really, really fuck with you.
The laziest sign off in this.